Hi guys, it's Baz. Today I'm going to show you how to set yourself up in your seating when you get in your car on your very first lesson. Let's do it. So the first thing you need to do when you get into your car is set your seat up. Now, the previous driver, maybe your driving instructor, will most likely be a different height to you. So the seating and the mirrors will be set for your instructor. So you need to set them up so they fit you and your mirrors are actually correctly adjusted for you. Now, once you've done all of that, you can click up here and check out the playlist for all the other videos I've done, including how to move away, how to never stall a car, and how to change gears smoothly. That's also a good one. So this is called the Cockpit Drill, and you're going to be using DSSSM to remember the routine. Okay, DSSSM to remember this routine. And they stand for doors, seating, steering wheel, seatbelt, and your mirrors. Okay, so that's doors, seating, steering wheel, seatbelt, and your mirrors. Now you always do your mirrors last, because if you adjusted your mirrors first and then your seating, your mirrors are going to be out of place. They're not going to be correct for what you want them to be. So it's always mirrors last thing that you need to adjust. So the first bit is the doors. Now you've got to make sure that all of your doors are closed and properly shut. Okay, as an example, if I just show you on this door, that's not fully closed. Now if I knock it, you can actually hear that, and as you're driving, most modern cars will actually have a warning light come on to say one of your doors is open. And in a modern car like this, it'll even tell you which door is open, or if your bonnet is open, or even if your boot is open, okay? And an older classic car, you're probably not gonna have that, so it's wise to actually check that it's actually shut. You can also check down these mirrors and actually see that the door is slightly, moved away from the body panel of your rear door or the rear panel itself. So let's shut it properly. Have a quick check, make sure it's safe. It doesn't actually, let's hold this still. Now it doesn't actually move at all, okay? So we know the door is closed. So another telltale sign that your door is open is that your interior light will actually stay on. So have a check at this light here. If I open my door, that light comes on. That's your interior light. So you've got some interior lights just over here, up near close to your center mirror as well. If I leave that open, now, I mean, my door is kind of like closed now, but the lights will also stay on. Once I shut it, the lights should go off. These are on a courtesy delay, so they'll stay on for about 20 seconds and then they'll actually switch off themselves. Let's look on how to adjust the seating now. Now there's 4 elements to the seating. So you've got the slider part that moves the seat forwards and backwards, the height adjustment, the backrest, and then the head restraint here itself. Let's look at the slider. So most seats, in fact all cars, will actually have this, so you can move the seat quite far back. So if you're really tall, this is no good for me because I can't even reach the pedals now actually. Or you can have it really far forward if you're a little bit shorter. Now this is too close to me, so this is not comfortable. It needs to be set so you can press the clutch pedal fully down so your leg is not outstretched. Okay, you should feel comfortable. Now this is a slightly bit of a stretch for me, so this is no good for me. So if I just kind of go forward another click or two, test it out again. Yep, I'm happy with that, that's better. So then the height. Every driving seat will have a height adjustment, okay, especially in all modern cars. When I say modern cars, that's anything from the last 20-year period. If you're a classic car, might be a bit different, I'm not sure. So, I've got a lever here on the right side. In this Mini, if I pump it down, it moves the seat down and also a bit further back as well. So it not only just goes up and down, it goes like in this sort of angle, okay? Now that is too low for me. I can just about see over the steering wheel. And that's not really a good position to be in. You don't want to be too high up either, where, and there's quite a few bumps here. Just split it. Now that's too high for me. My head's not quite touching the roof lining yet. You've got a lot of room in these Minis, but that's still going to be way too high for me. So it's got to be set correctly so that you can see the corners of the bonnet where the headlights are. Okay, you can just about see them, so you can see how far forward your bonnet is. So when you like trying to move in slow moving traffic or trying to park up in a in a tight spot in a bay parking or something, you've got better visibility of where your front of your car is. So that needs to be set. Then we look at the backrest here itself. Okay, now these recline or even come a bit forward. I've got another lever here on my right hand side as well. If I put it up in here, the seat will go back. Now that is too far back. We don't want to be reclining this far back. Or you can actually have it a bit more upright. Now that is too upright for me. I'm almost gonna be licking the steering wheel and that's not very nice, is it really? So yeah, we want to set that so you're gonna be comfortable So you just want to have a lean back slightly. Yeah, that's okay for me. All right, now everybody's seating position and what they feel comfortable is going to be different to what I'm setting myself up. This is set up for me, okay? So just test my clutch again. Yeah, that's still okay, because the rear adjust can also affect your clutch, your movement, your pedal, your leg movement itself, okay? But that feels okay to me. So now, next thing is the head restraint, okay? Some people call it a head rest. It's not there to rest your head on. We never rest at all, because you're gonna get too tired, and especially from the motorway, well, you might fall asleep, and that's not good, okay? So it's actually called a head restraint. It's designed to protect your neck from serious injury, okay? Now, in most cars, you kind of can adjust them. They actually do lift up like so. So if you're really tall, you can actually have that a lot higher. Now, the head restraint has to be correctly adjusted for your height, so it protects your neck from serious injury. In minis, these head restraints are big, so not a lot of people need to adjust them unless you're 6'1", 6'2" plus. I'm not quite there. So the top of your head should not be any higher than the top of your head restraint. Now, this for me is absolutely fine, okay? Some cars also, they'll twist forwards and backwards as well. In these ones, they actually don't. They only go up and down. Now, head restraints do one more thing. They actually come away completely. Now, not a lot of people know that, but there they go. Quite a fancy little thing, isn't it? Now, the reason for that to come away is, now these are solid metal prongs actually that actually hold into the seat in the first place. But if you get trapped in your car in an accident or something, you can release these head restraints and actually smash the window so you can get out of your vehicle. Quite cool little trick, really. And like I said, not a lot of people know that. Okay, click it back in. You've got a little button here as well. Push that in and it allows the head restraint to fall back into place. And now that's actually locked into place. I can lift it up, and that's as far as it's going to go until I press this button and it comes back down again. And I'm just going to put my seat back up to my height that I need it. There we go. So the next thing to adjust is your steering wheel. Now, every steering wheel does move quite a bit, which is actually good. There's a lever down here on this car. Your instructor will show you where that lever is in that particular car that you're learning in. So you push this lever all the way down, like so, and the steering will move. So it'll actually move up and down, like so. Okay, and also comes closer towards you as well. Again, if you're very tall, you can actually have the steering wheel come closer to you as well, and it pushes back down again. The way to correctly adjust the steering wheel is you can hold the top of the steering wheel, and there should be a kink in your arm. You shouldn't be proper outstretched like this. If I was really tall, that is a stretch for me. Okay, now that's no good, because you're going to be struggling to steer and to drive and everything like that. And if you're too close, well, you don't want to sit like this either way. You know, you're on the steering wheel. This is no good. So you want to be able to adjust it so you can see all the dials in through your steering wheel itself. So this is actually set correctly for me. The height is okay. I can reach the top of the steering wheel. My shoulders are relaxed. I can reach both hands on the top of the steering wheel actually, and it should be absolutely fine. So I can just lock that back into place like so. Now the steering wheel doesn't move once it's locked into place. Easy as that. So next thing is, let's put the seatbelt on. So with your right hand, pull it over. Make sure it's nice and flat and it's not twisted whatsoever. Holding the buckle bit of it now. And what you're going to do is actually click it into the holder here. Make sure it's clicked in. Try to pull it out. Make sure it's nicely clicked in so it's not loose. Make sure the seat belt is nice and flat. It doesn't have any twists in it whatsoever. If you do have twists, it might actually cause a bit of stretching if you're in an emergency, or it might actually slightly cut into your neck if you were to be involved in an accident. So it needs to be nice and flat and rested on your chest like so. Easy. Now, the law with seatbelts is that you must wear one at all times unless you are medically exempt. You must wear one, your passengers must always wear one, and it's also the driver's responsibility that your passengers front and rear are wearing the seatbelts. If your rear passenger was not wearing a seatbelt and you're involved in an accident, they might come flying forwards between the seats and potentially hitting the back of your head, causing an injury to you or something a lot worse. You could break your neck. Not good. If you wasn't wearing a seatbelt, or one of your passengers was not wearing a seatbelt, then you might get stopped by the police and you could get fined and have points on your license. That's not good. Now, the last thing to adjust is your mirrors. Okay, you've got a center mirror, you've got a left door mirror, and then you've got a right door mirror here as well. They used to be called wing mirrors, and I think people still call them wing mirrors because they used to be on the front wings of the car, but now they're on the doors, so they should be called door mirrors, but oh well. Okay, how do we adjust the center mirror? So holding with your left hand only, holding the top plastic bit so you're not actually going to be putting fingerprints on the mirror glass bit itself. It's quite rigid, so you actually just move it till you can see the two top corners of your back window in the two top corners of your mirror. Okay, this is going to be my view right now, or thereabouts. Okay, that's what I can actually see. So I can nicely see what's happening out the back window quite clearly. Your left door mirror should be adjusted so that you can see a little bit of the door handle sat on the bottom right hand edge of the mirror, and you should be able to see just a little bit of the back of the car, but not too much of it. Mainly, that mirror should be able to show you what's happening down that pavement or down the left hand side of the car if you're driving on a 2-lane carriageway. Okay, your right door mirror, similar sort of thing. This is the view that you need to be able to see. Just a little bit of the back of the car, but mainly what's happening out on that road. If your mirror looks like this, then you can see too much of the car and not enough of what's actually happening out on the road or next to you. Some people have it a lot further across, where you're just looking at the back of the car and that's not set correctly for you. So it has to be set so it looks like this. I've also installed little blind spot mirrors as well. The little mirror that you can see there allows you to see into your blind spot as well. One further thing about these mirrors is also, this is a flat glass mirror. So your center mirror is a flat glass mirror. It gives you a true representation of what is behind you, okay? Whereas your two door mirrors are actually convex mirrors. They've actually got slight curvature to it. The whole reason for that is it lets you see a wider field of vision. Now the way to adjust these mirrors is, most cars will actually have a switch like so. Okay, so here's my 4 window switches. Then I've got to actually control that goes left, right, up and down. A little switch here on my left hand side, that's adjusting the left door mirror. Flick it over to the right, that's now going to be adjusting the right door mirror. Okay, let's adjust the right one so I can just show you what happens. So if I actually move this to the right, you can see my mirror moving. If I move it to the left, you can see it moving over to the left hand side, and also it goes up and down as well. So from my position, it needs to be there, like so. This is exactly what I should be able to see. My seating is done, and then we do the mirrors at the very last thing. So this is the view that you should be able to see. So most cars will actually have some sort of a control like this, either here or, you know, somewhere in the car, but your instructor will actually tell you where it is going to be in your car. So guys, that's everything sorted out. That's your cockpit drill done. Doors, your seating, you've adjusted your steering wheel, you've put on your seatbelt, and you've adjusted your mirrors. The last thing, your instructor will teach you this on your first driving lesson. That might be slightly different to what I'm showing you. I'm showing you in this car, in this Mini, the way I would teach all my pupils as well. So your instructor will probably teach you a slight different variance of that, but that's okay. Just listen to what they're saying and you should be good to go. Now you should be set to drive away comfortably and you won't feel fatigued or tired when you drive. Now there's a lot to think about there, but the more you do it, the easier it becomes, and it shouldn't really take no more than 2-3 lessons to actually get that without any help from your instructor anymore. So the first lesson, you'll be taught through the whole thing and the basics of it all. Your second lesson, you should be able to do that in like 5 minutes. Your third lesson should take you no more than 2 minutes to actually set yourself up. And after that, should be just very easy to actually go through. Feel free to keep checking back on this video before your next driving lesson or after your driving lesson, just to sort of recap on it as well. It's always good to sort of like learn it, practice it, and learn it again. So keep checking back. Now I hope this video was really helpful for you. Much appreciated if you subscribe, like, and even leave any comments as well. And now click on these links here for the playlists and the next videos, and I'll see you soon. Take care.